Hi guys. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about color, and I have a bunch of different things that I want to talk about color with you all. And this one is about feeling and color, because I have this, and it's not a cowl, it's not finished. This is a shawl. I just kind of tucked it in because it makes it look nice. If I'm tucking it in and looking at it, you can see as I lift it up, there's a bunch of strings hanging off of it, because this end back here is the one that has the live end. But it looks good as a cowl, so I'm just tucking it into the back of my tank top and wearing it as if it was a cowl to kind of show you what I'm working on. And I wasn't sure as I was working on it how I felt about it. Most of that had to do with the fact that I am getting a little older and my eyesight at night isn't as great and I need to have a light on. If I'm working on bright colors, I don't need it. If I'm working on dark colors, I definitely do. So is that going to influence what I'm going to work on, or am I going to continue going with how I feel and choosing my colors? So we're sticking with how I feel, because as I'm wearing this, I really do like it. I see myself in the camera and I like it. I want to keep it. I want to keep working on it. I'm enjoying it the more I look at it. So sometimes that may be what you're going to have to do with something, is to kind of sit there, take some photos of yourself wearing something, take a look at it. Is this what I want? I mean, I will continue on with it as a shawl because I like having that big bunch sticking out from my neck, you know, because I'll have this point probably still in front and the big bunchiness come around the back to keep the back of my neck cool or warm, because I don't have any hair back there. So what I wanted to talk about was choosing colors based on how they make you feel. Because I have to say, purple doesn't make me feel happy. It's just one of those colors that I know a lot of people like it. I don't. It's not my thing. And that's okay. It means more purple for the rest of you. What does make me happy is this. This is one of my colors. This and like hot pink and, you know, some of those other like kind of crazy, really saturated kind of colors are my thing. And if I could put them in everything, I absolutely would. I try not to, because, you know, when I'm dyeing stuff, I try to make it for the masses. Anyway, this was already spun when I went to pick out this, but I was picking out for a certain feeling. And so the feeling, well, some of the feeling was using up that purple yarn. Sometimes I give these things away that are purple, and I really, you know, it is kind of a pretty color. I really wanted to use it, but I wanted to have a dark, not necessarily a happy or a bright or a kind of crazy shawl. I wanted to have a shawl that was dark. I have a black runner coat that I'm going to be making, and I wanted, sometimes you just want to have that dark feeling, and I'm not sure exactly the feeling that it is. To me, it's just a dark feeling, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad one or a sad one. Sometimes I just enjoy wearing all dark clothes. I just like it, probably because, you know, all through high school and college, all I wore was black, head to toe black. Sometimes I would throw in a dark green or a really deep red, but mostly black, because that's what I liked. And I still like it. And then add accessories that have colors. But we're not here to talk about me and my color choices, kinda. We're here to talk about color feelings. And, you know, there are just sometimes you'll be walking down the street and you'll see somebody with an outfit that is your colors that say happy to you, and you just immediately smile. You're like, whoa, happy. And sometimes those colors are all purple or all hot pink or just bright colors or completely in black and looking awesome. Any of those other colors. They all look awesome to you, whatever your happiness or your color is. So it's the same sort of thing. If I was walking into this cowl and I chose, let's say these are all pretty neutral. These neutrally colors, and they're neutral. To me, some of you might find that happiness. To me, it's just neutral. Is that going to work for me? If I wanted to have a neutral feeling, then that's great. Something like that might take me a little longer to finish. Even this might take me a little longer to finish. Things that are bright and kind of crazy colored, I finish fast because I find a lot of joy in them. And knitting to me is about joy. But it's up to you to find out, what is your joy colors? What do you want to say when you make something? What is going to help you finish a project? If you're not going to want to finish it because it's too neutral or too dark, then what's the point in even starting it? I will finish this because I like it and I want it, but it's not as joyful as maybe some of my other projects, so it might go a little bit slower, and that's okay. So my suggestion when you're trying to pick out colors and what you want to do, and you have a bunch in front of you, whether it's color cards or, you know, something that you tangibly have, like a bunch of yarn, you know, kind of critically take a look at it and go, this one says happiness, so I'm putting it in the happy pile. This one's kind of in between, I'm going to put a medium pile. This one is sort of a neutral in a blender, so we're going to put it over in the other pile. And this one, I don't think I want to use it, and we're just going to get rid of it altogether. So go through your stash, go through what you're trying to work on, and use that to help you pick out. And then, you know, maybe you want to pick one from your happy pile, one from your mid pile, and one from your blender so that it all blends together. Sometimes you want to do something else. I chose these 3 colors based on the way that I do it, like in the Mojo Challenge for like the Less is More sweater, so that everything sort of blends and works together. They're not the same color, but there is this deep blue that I can see in both of them. There is, let's see, there's a brighter blue that I see in either of these. There's a little touch of this green that's in this, is in that. This one also has a little bit of brown that I see in this. So these colors are all going to be need to all work together because of the way this shawl is. It doesn't go from this one to this one to this one. They all end up touching each other the way the shawl is worked. So they all needed to work together, and I think they do, because you can see, and you can pause the video if you need to look at it. Let's see. You can see how they all have colors in them that you can pick out. Let's see. Pause it again if you need to. So you can see how all the colors work together. You can see it better when it's like a skein like this, as opposed to when it's already wound into a cake. But this is where we're at because I'm already working on this. So while this isn't like screaming happy, to me it is what I want. It's saying what I want it to say to me, and which might say something entirely different to you. But I'm just encouraging you to go and pick colors based on feelings. Maybe you just want to sort of pick something out right now just to look at it. Sometimes just having some yarn or fiber sitting on my desk that's in happy colors just makes me feel happy. You know, if I'm doing paperwork or book work, which just isn't my thing, I do keep yarn right in front of my computer between my screen and my keyboard, just so that it's something that I can look at and go, that's why I'm doing this. It's all for the yarn, baby. It's all for the yarn. So think about your feelings. If you're having a hard time working on something, why are you having a hard time working on it? You know, if it's not a skill issue, if it's a color issue. If these just aren't your colors, they just aren't your colors. And I was prepared to possibly rip this out today. The more I look at it, the more I actually like it, the more I realize that it is saying the feeling that I want it to say. It is doing what I want it to do. It is what I originally picked out for it, and I don't need to change it. So sometimes you have to take a step away, take a step back, take a look at it, and think about how the project you're working on makes you feel. And even if you're 3/4 of the way done, if you've got to rip it to be happy with it, rip it. It's all in the process of working on something that you love working on. Okay, everybody. I'm going to be working on other color things and talking more about color and possibly talking more about color feelings as we go on, because I think that's an important thing, because I think colors really do make us feel a certain way, and that's sort of important. So, have fun, everybody.